We back at it. It's your boy Sid, with another video. I'm fucking with y'all right now, you know what I mean? But yeah, I had to play that, cause we damn, I got a hole in my shit. I'm looking ghetto and shit. Fuck it, you know what I mean? I'm gonna expose myself today. Cause we in this 8th house, sun in the 8th house. I got a hole in my do-rag. Y'all wasn't supposed to see that, but fuck it. It's a little, I'm looking a little busted over here, you know what I mean? Fuck it though, you know what I mean? We on the grind though, fuck it. Alright, so it's your boy Sid. We back at it with another video, right? We talking about the sun coming through the 8th house and what this means, what this denotes, right? But yeah, sun in the 8th house. When we think about the sun, let's talk about this first. Sun represents your ego, your identity, vitality. It's going to represent your soul, your self-expression, things of this nature. It represents and it shows us how you shine in terms of the actual sign that is coming through. And then the house shows us where you're shining at. So we're talking about the sun in the 8th house, right? Now, in terms of people outside of yourself, sun is also a representation of your father. It tells us the area that he was centered around, or just things about him as well. So, with sun in the 8th house, right? Let's talk about this 8th house. 8th house is a Scorpio house. It's a house that's very dark in nature, very much about mystery, secrets. 8th house deals with sex, death, and transformation. It tells us about like inheritance as well too, taxes, things of that nature. But when the sun is coming through here, you're basically shining in the dark basically. A lot of times you're going to be forced to transform. You are the transformer basically. Sun in this 8th house, just when we think of Scorpio, it's ruled by Mars, which is the god of war, and it's ruled by Pluto, which is the god of the underworld. So your soul is coming through these type of energies, right? You're definitely gonna have to fight and be resilient as you're facing the god of war, and then you're coming from the underworld, right? So a lot of times, sun can represent the ego, so it shows that your ego is gonna go through a death and rebirth. You're gonna go through crisis, right? You're coming from the underworld, and this could be literally or figuratively, you know what I mean? But you're definitely going through a lot of shit when your sun is coming through this house. I know because I have this placement, you know what I mean? So I'm exposing myself a little bit, you know what I mean? We don't want to be exposed when we got that sun in that 8th house. Whatever's in the 8th house is what we keep private, right? 4th house, 8th house, and 12th house, any planets that are in these houses, these are water houses, these are hidden houses. So these planets will be more private, right? So this is talking about your soul. You're more of a private person, right? You could come off as more as a mystery, as this 8th house traditionally kind of corresponded with Scorpio. Scorpio deals with secrecy and mystery. So you would naturally also do well in these areas. You would know secrets, you would know mysteries. Since this house deals with death, you can actually attract entities from other realms. We're not here to be spooky, but as this is a taboo house, this is what's hidden, this is what people don't talk about. So naturally, draw entities from other realms, other worlds. You actually shine in areas that are occult, right? So these are anything that deals with like mediumship work, being a diviner, being a healer as you're going through a lot of shit. You would naturally do well with stuff like tarot, astrology, working well with pendulums, any form of divination, cartomancy, casting shells, things of that nature. Let's talk about your father dynamic. This can show a death of the father, and this could be either figuratively or literally, right? So this could show an early death with him, or just him being dead, is in the sense that he's like going out in your life. It's more of a mystery with him that you would feel. I know how this energy feels, like I said, because I have this placement, but also because, with my pops, we don't really have a relationship. It is what it is. Yeah, we don't really have a relationship, so that's just something to think about too. Again, I said earlier, this is a hidden house, so you're more of a private person, and I think I might have said you could come off like as a mystery. Yeah, you come off in that manner. Constantly evolving. Who you were when you were 23 is not who you're going to be when you're 24. When you're 24, that's not who you're going to be when you're 25. And it's definitely not going to be when you're 26 who you were when you were 18. So you're constantly transforming, constantly going through death and rebirth, regeneration of the soul. You're supposed to evolve when you have displacement. Now this house on the negative side can deal with criminality, the underworld, in that manner. So some people will go down that route. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. And also this house deals with sex, right? So you'll see some people that's in the porn industry, sex workers, If you want to go down that route, you have free will, but I always try to push towards the positive side of the manifestations of the energy and what the houses represent. Well, this is similar to having the sun in Scorpio. It's a very similar type of energy. Or having aspects between the sun and Pluto, or Leo in the 8th house. It's a similar type of energy you would feel, basically. You know, you relate to these type of individuals as well. Let's talk about sex and intimacy. We have the sun sign coming through the 8th house in terms of intimacy, and you know, the sun is like the center of the solar system. It's the rules over Leo. Leo is like the king, excuse me. So you want things to revolve around you in the bed. You know what I mean? I'm exposing the fuck out of myself right now. We don't want to be exposed with that sun in that 8th house, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We want things to revolve around us in the bed. What else? Inheritance. You know, a lot of times you would be like the one who wants to take charge in this area. As again, the sun is the center of things. If you were to ever receive any inheritance or shared resources, you know, you want to be the king in this manner. Shared resources can come from either your father, not shared resources, but inheritance can come from either your father or an authority figure with this placement a lot of times. And death, you know, this is the part where I tell people, turn off this video if you're scared, because we're not here to trigger anyone. That's not what I want to do. But I want to tell you the energy. Sun, again, it's ruling over Leo, and Leo is the entertainer of the zodiac. Leo represents like actors, entertainers, the spotlight. So when we think about sun coming through this 8th house, this can show a death that's prominent or in the spotlight. Sun also, another way that the energy can play out is the sun rules over like the heart, the spine, things of that nature. So it could pertain to that, just as an example. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to cover or I missed? My notes, so much shit to remember. You're a very investigative type of person when you have displacement, so you would be good as like you could shine at like FBI work, criminal investigations. You could be drawn to watching those type of shows. What else? You're a deeper individual. You could be a surgeon, because surgeons have to dive deep when they're cutting. This could be like mining. 8th house, like I said, is deep. It corresponds with Scorpio. Well, when I said mining, it's more of a physical manifestation of it. You're digging below the surface of the earth. On a psychological level, this could be a psychologist, because you're digging below the surface in terms of how people think, basically. You can also give off a sexual magnetism, as Scorpio is a sign of sex. Very powerful allure with this type of placement. So yeah, you know, but you also are coming off as a mystery to others, you know, when you have this placement. I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about. And yeah, that's the video on sun through the 8th house. Stay tuned, because I'm gonna have some more videos coming soon. Holla at your boy, you know, Sid. Peace.